unmuted. Thank you for the follow, Ray3OP. I'm not sure. Imagine how many followers. True. Sag. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Tree CEO's VOD. And then I chose your Dorado one. And then I'll be getting to J-Ho's. I'm just gonna pretty much buzz through these because I can and I feel like it. Okay. Imported Dorado. Okay, so this was the 3K scrims. I don't know what heroes are played in it, but I like the map and all that. How do I manage to have so many? Because I pin a lot of codes, like pretty much any code where I lose or just do pretty well, I pin it so I can either like rewatch the fun moments later, or so that I can VOD review myself later. I don't get to probably 3/4 of them, but it's kind of nice having them like all the same. Okay, so you're on the brig duty here. Playing the meta comp. I see that you're going with the brig instead of the mercy. Both are pretty viable. I think the mercy is technically like a little more meta, but it's kind of different flavors. With the mercy, you would have a lot more DPS power and like a lot less backline safety, so you tend to have to go at a much faster pace. But then with the brig, you have like a lot more brawling power for like when you need it with your Sigma, and it's a lot harder to dive the comp. So basically, you'll be pretty much sticking with Sigma and Zen the whole time because you three should be playing as a unit, and I'm assuming that there's something like that in the 3K scrims here. You're pretty much going to be packing Sig a bit, but then mostly either Echo or Tracer. I don't know which one the Zen is going to have his orb on most of the time. You would probably be looking to heal the one that he's not looking on as much. Ball would just do orb. You don't need to worry about armor packing him. He'll just suck them up. Zen hopefully won't need packs, but you should keep a pack in the back pocket if there's dive threats. So we're not technically 15 seconds into the match yet, so you don't know the enemy comp, but when you do see it, you'll see that there's not really any dive threats besides the ball. So really, you're frankly not going to be doing much on Brig, like at all, until the fight gets like really scrappy. And I think Mercy probably would just get a little more value in the comp here against their spammy comp, but obviously, like I said, you do know that they're not going to run Tracer, so yeah, Dorado's like it's a really nice map. So right off the bat, you should probably be looking to try and help your Sigma and Zen rotate, because I don't think you want to be playing on the cart here. So ideally what I would want is I would want Sigma, Zen, and Brig to all just rotate up to this high ground together. Like this would be like the high level macro. Because when you're here and you have that Zen positioned on the angle, first of all, he's a lot safer because now he has good cover. He has a mega if he needs. He has his team in his sight lines. He's a lot less vulnerable to angles and flanks and like hits from the ball. But for here, it's not like the end of the like. It's fine if you just try and push the cart slowly, but then you need to rotate as the team to here. Because like you need to be moving up to this high ground at some point, because with this spam comp you have to force out the angles first, like because you're playing against their spam comp and you're playing your own spam comp, so you have to force out their angles, set up your own angles. And like while I'm looking at this from a very macro perspective right now, I'll look at some more of your micro stuff later. Really, I don't think Brig's micro is that like. It's not that it's not intensive, but I think it's more important to be like orchestrating your team's macro and decision making and like ult tracking and ult planning as a support player generally, because it's a very communication heavy role. Like that's where like dudes like Moth get massive value. Is it's not in their play, even though their play is fantastic and consistent. It's in the communication. So I just want to look at how your team takes this first fight, and then I'll probably look at the first person. Echo not on the angle. Tracer and Ash are setting up at least, but they're all on separate targets. Ball gets nothing useful. Tracer's taking a 3v5. Echo is poking alone and gets farmed. But you guys do get underneath the tunnel. That's nice. But now you get held here by the spam angles unless someone takes the high ground. Held by the spam angles, held by the spam angles, held by the spam angles. There's nothing that you could do here right now in Brig. I'm just gonna say it straight up. It doesn't matter what you're doing if you're... So now the ball and Tracer are starting to do some stuff. This could break something. Ball is feeding. No, okay, he's getting out. So like, you're sitting here, but really I would rather you be over here trying to help your team get up to this high ground and like fighting that war. Because realistically, your Zen isn't in any threat because like you've been in the battle in the game for like over a minute now, and the ball has not really been threatening the Zen. And really the Zen should be moving up with you too. Like neither of you guys are doing anything here. Because from here, you have this angle, you can have this angle, and you can even transition into like, this one isn't really great. But like here and here are like, especially right here is very valuable because you can play in from here and right here. So like that's like high value play. My guess is that your team finally breaks the fight. So my guess is you lose this fight to an Echo transform into Sigma. And then you win the next fight off of a pulse bomb and copy combo. Like not like a combo, but using the two ults. There's trance. Oh, since I use mines instead, okay. There's the copy, it was garbage. This is a good rally. I like that. That was a well-played rally. Because like you're using it right as your team is starting to engage in this scrappy fight, and that's where Brig's advantage like really lies. Like it's probably... I would say Brig's rally is still the most effective ultimate in the game. Like it's probably single-handedly the strongest ultimate in the game because it can single-handedly sway fights. Your ball and Tracer are just not in sync at all. I feel like you're like playing really passively here. You could probably be moving more aggressively onto the cart or like over to here, because then you're gonna get some better sightlines for Inspire procs and also for just like getting that brawl presence. Because your Zen isn't like under really any threat right now. Yeah, this is good. That was excellent brawling right there. Like good cleanup, good cleanup. Okay, so now I'm going to slow this down to normal speed and watch for the close-up. Good pack. I don't think ball needed it. Your team isn't really engaging, so be careful about using all of your packs before the engage happens, because like you have one pack still, but like if the enemy team did decide to engage now, because your team has been like using up some of their resources, like ball is moving out because he burned his shields I think by now, you use your armor packs, things like that. If they engage now, your team wouldn't actually have that many resources. So like you want to avoid pressure until you're committing to handling that pressure, right? Because otherwise you're using up your precious ability to negate the pressure. So then that means that you will have to avoid it or you'll die. So either way, you're losing the fight because you're not able to keep the space without resources. So, I don't really care. I think this is fine because like there's not much you could be doing right now as Brig on this point especially. Because like on the other point, there's like some staircases and stuff that are relatively accessible to get up to the high ground. But then the problem here is like you would have to be going on these mad flanks in order to access the high ground. It's just not feasible. Yeah, like you could maybe get like a like if you see them engaging, yeah, like I would say save whip shot for their engage unless like I see your echo needs the healing, but it's like But all right, see you, Tricio. But like in general, I would say you want to make sure to be like thinking about where your team is going to be going and like when, and then taking the like keeping your resources for it, because like the rule is defenders get to choose where they want to play, but then the attackers get to choose when they want to play. So you need to be using your when resources, like just like accumulating your cooldowns, ultimates, etc. You want to be using those in a wise manner, in an efficient manner, because otherwise it doesn't matter when you do it if you're not doing it at all. Basically, like you need that accumulated resources. This is fine. Yeah, your DPS are popping off. I mean, this is the Brig life right now. You're kind of just chilling. You have to be ready for their ball to re-engage, so he's going to go for your Zen. That is a good attempt. Yeah, so you're kind of horsing around there, but it actually created a window for him to engage. Because, like, there's nothing wrong with being on the cart here. And while I think it was an amusing attempt to get on the high ground, no one really needs peel on the high ground. And right here, if you were still on the cart, that's a boop right there. It would have booped him here, back, and he would have mined off kilter on this, just that quarter of the zone. And he would have missed the slam too. So like that would have been like a really powerful thing that like your attention resource, you cannot give it away cheaply. Because like attention is a resource because you can't pressure and you can't negate pressure and like you can't do damage at all if you aren't paying attention. Like if you're not looking at a threat, there's nothing you can do about it. So it's like don't give away your attention for free. Because like if you're not paying attention, if you're like off looking at the map or like trying goofy stuff or whatever, or like just memeing around, that pressure is gone. Your attention as that resource is being used up in a way that is getting zero value. And like it's already enough problem if you're like spending your attention looking at a tracer or whatever in the back line when there's more important threats on the front line. But like you always got to be like looking and thinking for these like re-engages and what the enemy could be doing and trying to have this counterplay. I think you could. I want you to rally probably as soon as that ends. This is fine too. That's fine timing. I feel like it's maybe a little. Yeah, don't stop, man. Just go for it. Brawl in, brawl in. You're aggressive. You can be aggressive, man. I don't know why you're falling back when you have the rally up. Like that just is like really. Like that's like kind of suspicious, honestly. Because you could just be ramming into this Sigma right now. He doesn't have the damage to outpace your rally. Yeah, I would agree with Baggins there. Like you have to be making sure that you're keeping up the focus on like what you're doing. Because yeah, like you're not gonna be able to build anything. Basher or something. Yeah, nice, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, unlucky. I think you should have gone for the hit and then the bash, because I think you kind of maybe booped her out of your range. It doesn't really matter because the echo shouldn't have been there anyways. But so I think that there was an error here. So right now your team has 5 versus 5. Who's dead on your team? Tracer disconnected. Okay, that's unlucky. But then, so for like right here, their Sigma is low. You could actually just be hard pressuring him, and I think you would be able to get it for free. Like there's, as long as you're sticking to like hard enough that their Zen doesn't put too much damage pressure on you. Like you're back here being distracted by the ball. That's not really important. Your Zen isn't by the ball. No, your ball is, and that's not a threat to him. So I think that's fine to be by the Zen now because he's under pressure from the Tracer, but yeah, it was just kind of poorly played from the whole team overall. So here I feel like you could probably try and have I think you would probably want to ask your Zen and Sigma to rotate up to this high ground on the long rotation, because I think you would rather take this fight in this corridor, even though the Tracer has Pulse Bomb, like just because it would be pretty oppressive, honestly, to try and cross down from below to get to the point. This would be an okay position too, like if you rotate around or just through main and then into here. It's like somewhere to go through one of these side routes, because if you just go through main and then onto cart, your team is basically going to get shredded. You have like one fight and one scrappy fight left, maybe at best. Your Echo's a feeder, your Tracer's a feeder. This is good corner peeking. It's good to have that intelligence. Oh, bad. There was no reason to linger there. Like, that was your fault that you got pulse bomb there. You were, like, just still for too long. Because, like, I like this, but then I don't know why you just sit here instead of just bashing across. Because, like, here, you're still exposed, like, enough to the Echo and, like, to potential threats that I would rather just not have you here. I would rather just have you bash to the underneath area as quick as possible. Because, like, this isn't our safe point. I like this spot. Like, because if you are going to go main, going underneath here, underneath the awning, is the way to do it. Because then you have, like, that safe cover from this high ground. Like, you have to hug this wall as close as you can. But by kind of just, like, waffling around here, it just, like, I don't know. It's kind of just destined to happen. Yeah, there wasn't anything you could do to, like, bash the Tracer's reaction. That was just too quick. You did the right choice to stay still. It was unlucky that the Zen was on top of you, but stall swap. Good wall riding, but it's already a lost fight. They have too much ult advantage. Oh, almost got the Mercy there. Oh, nice. Tracer finished it. Oh my gosh, wait, your team is winning it? Sigma popped off? Nice. Yeah, Tracer and your Sigma pop off, basically, but I don't think you win this, though, still. Oh, you do. Okay. Color me impressed. Didn't really need the whip shot there. You could have just stayed behind the wall and it would have done the same thing. Nice, nice. Welcome back. Not really necessary whip shot again. Help your team rotate top. You can brawl it out. If you close the distance on them. Good. It's an okay whip shot. I'll take it. Unlucky on the echo. That was a good instinct to try and get the heal on her. That was a huge minefield though. Like, this is what happens on the low ground. Like, you get, well, yeah, so it's a 4-second cooldown and the fight hasn't started, but it's like, it's about the discipline. Because if you are, like, used to using it before the fight starts, like, it's a pretty low cost one, but, like, you'll not have it ready at key moments. Like, there was just a moment earlier when you tried to, like, do, like, the little shield bash hop up to the high ground or whatever, and then you miss this ball rolling in and doing a minefield, and your team straight up would have gotten the fight cap, I think, if you had hit the whip shot on the ball. So, like, it's not like a, like, yeah, that one wasn't because you used your whip shot early or anything, it was like an attention thing, but it's very important to make sure that you are always prepared. Like, you need to be prepared for the next fight, and if you don't need a resource, it doesn't matter how quick it'll be back or how disposable it is. If there's no, like, direct value from it, there's just no reason to use it, right? Because you're not going to get, like, much Inspire up from it or much ult charge. Unlucky that your Sig didn't hear you to rotate top, because, yeah, that would have been the play. Because the problem is, as Brig, you're basically just going to get abused from the low ground because, like, obviously you have no way to do anything against these ranged opponents. Like, the whole advantage of Brig is that you can close the distance and take these brawly fights because you'll have a huge advantage in them. She just has the higher healing output, more brawl power, and her ult is disgustingly good. So, like, yeah, I think your Sigma would have needed you to, like, yeah, the Sig was way too passive with a lot of his positioning, because, like, a lot of the time I would have wanted you and him and Zen going places, and it just kind of didn't happen. Yes, sir. Tweet is right. Yeah, so I like the Mercy pick here more, personally. Yeah, that one's a Willow. Willow is being very loud right now. You're basically gonna be pocketing your Ashe the whole time here. And, yeah, Ashe and Zen unit. Because, like, obviously it doesn't really make sense for you to damage boost anything else except maybe the Zen if your Zen is an absolute fragger, or if he's being dove on. If he's being dove on, you definitely need to be close enough to, like, give him some healing, because, like, that's basically the whole idea with the Mercy Zen, is that your own Tracer or your own Zen have, like, enough fragging power and mechanical ability to basically just negate the opponent's Tracer. So either your Tracer's winning the duels and, like, keeping them distracted, or your Ashe or Echo are hitting shots on the Tracer, or your Zen can hit the shots enough if they receive damage boost and heals for that brief moment that they can just KO the Tracer. Like, it's a higher risk, higher reward background. It's basically the greediest backline you'll get, because it's all just damage pressure. Like, there's nothing else. You don't get the heals, you don't get the peel. Like, it's just all DPS investment. So, I like this. Yeah, just make sure you're not peeking. Good job dodging those, because that would have been unfortunate if you had. Wow, bye again, Tricia. You probably could have been watching for that. Because, like, the thing is like, right here, like, right here, you're looking off the edge, but it's like, well, gee, what are you going to do as Mercy looking off the edge? Mercy is, once again, like, she's a very much communication character, because there's only so much you're actually doing in person. So it's like, you're gonna look at these things and do what? you're looking at the same thing as Ashe is looking at, and if she hasn't noticed the threat, then she's a doofus. So the best thing for you to do here is be looking behind, because your beam stays locked on, and you know that they have a ball and a tracer. So if you can be like the eyes on the back of your Ashe's head, that's pretty powerful. Because like if a tracer is coming up from here, if ball is coming up from here, like you have to be giving this information. Because if you're not giving information, you're frankly probably not getting enough valuable like resources mercy on a high level. Because like you could have stopped Ashe and Sigma from getting booped here, and like now it's like fine because Sigma can rotate back, but you and Ashe are much more exposed for this brief amount of time. So yeah, this is fine. You can literally just chill here. Yeah, I like that you're checking there now. Like that is good. This is what you want to be doing. Yep. Good peel on the Zen actually. I like that. Yeah, start rotating back. Start rotating back. Keep your Ashe up. That's a good jump to get a little more further back. Don't stand still, man. Yeah, that's like a threat with the stickies. You basically like as good heals on the Zen. You pretty much always have to be watching for the DPS threats and like the main tank threats. So I pretty much always like I don't want you really ever getting taken surprise by Echo or Tracer, because like there's almost no excuse for it. Like she might close the distance on you, and that's okay, even if she kills you. But I don't want you to not be aware that it was going to happen and get hit by a bunch of stickies. Like you always need to be watching for these things. That's fine to heal the Sig a little bit. I like that. Good pocket. This is fine. Good checking back on the back line. Don't worry about healing other people. Just, it's fine. It's a little like stroll charge, but yeah, focus on the. Okay, that's fine. I was worried that you were gonna like go like all the way over, but it's fine because you went through the window. I would rather have you had just ducked behind here and went in, but like either way, it's fine. It was just a little flashier and a little riskier your way. But yeah, just make sure you're taking safe pathing as Mercy. Yeah, I'd be focusing on the Ashe right now still. So now that it's been a while since things are happening, I would assume that the enemy Tracer and Ball are doing something. So I would be watching my Zen very closely right now. I'm taking care of you. Let me handle it. This is fine. No. Okay, that was good res positioning. But I think you should have just let the Zen die. Because the problem is by going down there, now your team has given up this positioning. Ashe and you probably could have held this, at least for longer, especially because you had Valk. And like, I feel like rezzing Zen right away might not be worth the Valk. And like, I mean, you should have popped Valk anyways this fight, but I don't feel like it was worth losing that positioning that Ashe and you had. It was, I don't think it's wrong. But I feel like there might have been better choices. I guess we'll see how the fight turns out first here. Don't worry about their ball. Don't worry about your ball, man. Your Ashe died because you're sitting here on your ball. No. Stop damage boosting your ball. Damage boosting Tracer, that's better. Or Sigma. Sigma is better, not the ball. Zen, yes, Zen is good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, your Ashe... I'm gonna say, that Ashe dying is your fault. It's not... So, like, the main issue is that, if we go back a little bit. Like, you shouldn't have healed her because she's in the middle of the enemy team. But, like, look at this positioning. This is all good, right? There's Zen and Sigma, notably, are taking the rotation that I wanted your Sigma to take. But, like, by abandoning your Ashe right here, she ends up in this really awkward position. It's not... I mean, really, your Ashe just had awful positioning. But I think that if you had stuck with her, or... I mean, no, you guys were getting pinched. I don't know, maybe it is just the Ashe being a bot. Ashe was ringer, okay. Yeah, I don't like that you spent so much time damage boosting the ball, especially when he had his ult already. I really just genuinely think pocketing your Tracer, Zen, or Sigma would have gotten more value here with the Ashe dead. Going in with the... That was like way too aggressive of a go. I don't know, how did your Sigma get all the way up there? He was just back here with you. Did he get booped that whole distance? You need to be moving up with Sigma like right now. Because like your team is moving up, and like the longer that you and Zen are back here, like now you're separated thanks to the ball, and now you're vulnerable to the... Yeah, so you should have Guardian Angeled up to the front, is what I'm saying. Because I think I would rather have you stick with your Sigma than get separated in the back line when they have the ball. Well, you did it too late is my point. Because like you did it when they were already diving you instead of preemptively. Because like you do it now, but you're already a quarter HP from the slam, and like and you have an Echo and a ball on you. There's nothing, like no Guardian Angel is gonna get you out of that. It almost did. But if you had done it, like you didn't even need to Guardian Angel. If you just walked in with your Sigma right here instead of like right now, like keep moving forward. If you just keep moving forward with them, you're fine. Because like where are the enemy threats? You have this Sigma at the off angle, that's fine. Your Sigma is dealing with him. You have this ball in main, or I mean, you have the Tracer and their Mercy in main. Their Mercy is doing who knows what, probably nothing right now. Tracer's just pushing cart. So it's like, okay, where's the Echo and where's the ball, and what do they look for? They look for isolated targets and squishy targets. So really, I think you might have died either way to this, just because Echo is really, really strong right now. And with the ball combo, like that synergy is just so strong, and this still probably would have melted you. But if you had been on top of your Sigma moving in, like without the separation, I think there might have been a higher chance that the ball wouldn't have been able to get enough initial chip damage on you to actually be lethal. Then you probably also would have had yeah, I mean, their Tracer's just doing like stupid stuff right now. Yeah, because if you had been right here, ball wouldn't have had a good roll through on you to set up the kill, and Echo would have been visible because you're not close to this flank here. So I don't know. And like the problem is like your team is playing like two separate right now. Like your Sigma is taking a duel with their Sigma despite being discorded and half health. Yeah, your backline is getting dove on. Your Tracer and Ball are dueling their Tracer and Mercy, but really there's no reason for them to be on the cart at all right now. Like, it just kind of like... Yeah, you honestly probably could have tried to blast her. Yeah, I mean, your team lost that because there was, like, no focus. Like, everyone just, like, lost focus entirely and went on their separate directions, and it showed.
The wonders of modern medicine.
Observe the barrier.
Damage increased.
Yeah, get that heal. Ashe is kind of sus. Good res. Small nitpick. I think I would have rather you resed from this side because it closes off the angle like fully. Like here, you can see things a little bit, which is like kind of nice, but then that means the enemy team can see you resing. And like, I don't think I would really want to put it to the test. I know the echo is like peeking over here, and like that's kind of why you're like probably wary of that. But I don't know. I think the echo is disengaging because like she's probably more focused on cart. But no, okay. Well, either way you die. But yeah, sloppy engage gets a sloppy fight loss. That's just how it goes.
Starting over from the beginning, you should be at peak performance levels. Highest high activity.
You always need to be looking for that echo. I don't know why you're looking down. Like you're looking down at the floor right now. Always be looking at the head level, man, even not on hit scan characters, because you're not going to be able to see their echo and stuff if you don't.
Damage boost engaged. Just point me in the right direction.
You cannot revive it yet. Yeah, that was a foolish thing to try. I think what I would have wanted right here, I think this is fine, but I think I would have rather had, like, if I would, let me see your positioning for a little bit of time before that, because I feel like if you'd stuck with your Ashe and been there already, it would have been doable. Like, your ball is feeding right now, like, absolutely feeding. Same with Tracer. Yeah, you just need to be regrouping with your Ashe right now. Like, I don't know why you're sitting here with ball and Tracer instead of getting to your Ashe, like, ASAP. Yeah, because, like, now your Ashe is getting aggro with her positioning. Your team has no game plan here. If they aren't making a game plan, you need to be making a game plan. Call where the fight is going to be. Really, your main tank should be doing that. But if no one is, somebody has to. And right now, like, look at this. You have a Sigma on respawn. You have a Zen and Tracer out in the open in the back line. You have an Echo and Mercy on the front line in the middle of nowhere, with no cover. You have a ball who's not ready to engage from a flank. Like, nobody is ready for anything. And your team is going to get 3v6'd successfully. You should have just let Ashe die, I think, there, actually. If you, like, I would have wanted Ashe and you to be up here from the start. Like, Ashe had a good idea to be up here, but then she got greedy and, like, went down here to look for, like, stupid ult charge shots and stuff, actually positioning for an engagement. Like, so something I said while you're gone is, I was like, I repeated my mantra of defense decides where, offense decides when. Your team isn't deciding where, so you're losing the one advantage that you have on defense. If you're just playing to wherever the offense wants to engage, you're just entirely losing your advantages. So it's like, I don't know, your team just got sloppy there. I think you needed to be there in the comms trying to get that pulled together more. Like, this was like a guarantee. Like, it's pretty shameful because they lost, like, your team lost that full fight without their Sigma, without their Zen, without their Mercy. They didn't even have healers. Just their DPS and ball just killed 3 of your team and forced your ball out and forced one of your Sigma's cooldowns. Like, it's pretty shameful. Like, you can't let a team's positioning get that sloppy if you can help it. I get that it's not your job to babysit all the teammates, but, like, you need to at least, like, be trying to encourage the team to have a game plan. I don't know if you did or not, but either way, and if a teammate is just in a stupid position, don't follow them. Like, if your Ashe is here feeding or whatever, then you should stand, like, back here and, like, with, like, a 10-foot pole heal her, instead of being like as close to cover and as close to your Sigma as possible, because Sigma is, like, always going to be your safest position on this comp, than with your Ashe in, like, the middle of nowhere. Don't let a teammate's bad positioning be the cause of your own bad positioning. That's what they look like, in all honesty. Yeah, they look like that kind of player. Sigma's engaging from the low ground. It's kind of sus. Doesn't really matter because they thought they were low on time. But like your team is kind of engaging early here. There was definitely more time until you had to engage. I think it's good that you're popping Valk here. Your team has the ult economy to sustain it because you're gonna have mines soon, and it's a pretty quick ult. But I hope you just stick with Zen here because your Ashe is in a terrible, terrible, terrible position. Like it's way too aggro. And if you go in with your ball, you'd be frontlining. If you go in with your Sig, who's also too deep, you'd be frontlining. So really, yeah, just stick with your Zen, man. Like legitimately pocket your Zen. I don't mind damage boosting the Bob too. That's okay. This is a bad idea to res. It's like you shouldn't have been able to pull that off. If their Echo hadn't disengaged there or whatever, or if their ball had better mechanics, you would have died there. The Ashe, like you won the fight. Don't risk getting killed. I mean, like the thing is like you're Valking, so yes, you could afford to go in with the Ashe, but at the same time, they still have a Zen and an Echo. Like those are things threatening enough to you still in midair that at better SRs that won't hold. And if you're like up here, that means that like you're a very visible target. And like yeah, they probably won't hit you, but do you really like sure, it's okay. And it's not like wrong, but I think like if you do it, just make sure that you're getting back to your Zen really quick. My bigger issue here is with that res, because I don't think it's valuable enough to res the Ashe here to merit risking your life for it. Paul and Tracer are going in really deep. Your team needs to go in with them. This is good. Yep, this is good positioning. Good pocket on the Ashe. Good pocket on the Zen.
I'm here. Schaden verstärkt. Right beside you.
You kind of lost focus there, man.
This is not your turn.
That was your fault. Like you should have just been healing her there. That was. It's not your job to really heal the Tracer's chip damage. She needs to just do that on her own, or maybe the Zen Orb is like a little better. But like that was just kind of awkward having to waste res on the Ashe there, especially because it was a kind of dangerous res. Yeah, that's kind of unlucky. This is good. Good Guardian Angel dodge. No, just staying here with Zen. Yeah, just pocket the Zen. I would pocket Sig just in case he's, like, if he's taking any damage here. Okay, he's good. Good Guardian Angel. I hope you can, like, nice. That was a good transition across the field. Unlucky. And then, this is good. That was a good pistol. I don't mind that. I thought that fight was fine, honestly.
Valkyrie online.
10 seconds
Prove
remaining.
myself.
We must see this through.
I'm taking damage.
That was really close. You should have been, like, watching behind you, probably, because you didn't need to back up that fast. You should have just been backing up safely rather than fast. So you probably could have just turned around and walked backwards and to like check for pursuit. Corner is fine here because you know that they're gonna have to be brawling on corner pretty soon. You could go high ground with Sig, but I don't like it enough to say that you would need to. Nice whip shot. That was beautiful. I don't mind the heal packs on the Sig there. He's most of your team's brawling presence. Keep him up. They keep swinging his Brig just as like a default thing just because there's no loss. because it's like, oh yeah, you can hit an invisible Sombra maybe or something that you haven't reacted to yet. Really though, it's useless, and I don't actually like see any reason for it personally. I still do it sometimes when I play Brig, but yeah, it's basically just for the extra jump on the damage. But there's not really any reason that you have to do it. But it's like swinging as Reinhardt when there's no one there, basically. Like I do that sometimes too. Like if there's any chance of an enemy being there, I will be swinging.
Barrier in place.
I would just hold this door really close because like right now you want to be closing off the angles, enabling yourself to brawl and healing your team. So from here, you close off the angle, like you're not weak to the Brig spam weakness anymore. And you can heal up the people who want to be pocketed, and the enemy team can't see you, and if they try and come through here, you just smash into their Sigma. Actually, I don't use Bash, but just like swing at him and pressure him, because he's going to have to go out. So, like, it's fine to be here with your team, but really though, it's like you're going to be taking unnecessary damage, potentially.
I've got you covered.
Unnecessary.
Skills taken down.
Hey, see, look at this.
About to go.
Your barrier is almost broken. If you were right here, your barrier wouldn't be damaged at all, and you would have gotten the Inspire proc for free. And you would have taken off like a quarter of Sigma's health.
30 seconds.
Yeah, see, now you're right here anyways, so like this is a good choice. Nice, brawl, 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 brawl. Run at them, run at them. Beautiful. This is where Brig is strong. Like, you want to get them in these brawly situations and then take advantage of it. Because, like, the thing is it's ironic, because this is like it's a spam dive hybrid, but every comp has a brawling phase. Brawl phase is just like, like every fight goes from poke phase, which is the spam, so it's why people call it a poke comp, to the engagement phase, which is like what dive comps focus on, and then to the brawl phase. So like every comp has those three phases. It's just a question of how prolonged they are, and like how relevant they are. So like while this comp has, like, it wants a prolonged poke phase, but then also has like a lot of power in the dive phase, uh, it, like, by adding Brig in, you can have a lot of brawling power once the fight breaks out too. Like, you can enable your Tracer and Ball and Sigma a ton in the close range battle. Just look for a boop on the ball, because like the only thing that could go wrong here is if their ball boops your team off the high ground. Nice boop. I still wouldn't stack on your team, because yeah, that was a good bash out of the way, just because it's not necessary to be on top of your team here. But that's fine. Yeah, drop to get the feedings in. Your Ash is popping off. Unlucky miss on the whip shot. This is good. I don't mind this. I mean, you're not going to kill him, but it's fine. Yeah, your Ash basically saved that fight by saving the Bob. I think that if you had just been here, though, you probably could have gotten a little more for free. But, overall, I was pretty satisfied with your Mercy gameplay. I thought that was, like, pretty solid. My one thing for her would be to focus on, like, where your attention is and, like, tabbing threats. Because, like, the thing is with Mercy, because you're not doing the direct damage and you're mostly, like, focused on, like, movement, she's very good for, like, collecting the information and being aware and being, like, the second pair of eyes for your teammate. So I would much rather have you, like, focusing on that, that scouting almost kind of thing as Mercy, and, like, that awareness. Because I think that's probably, like, the biggest thing that you can do to level up your play. Because, like, you already have pretty good movement with her, honestly. And your target priority is pretty solid, too. You went for, like, a couple of dubious reses, but not, like, none of them were, like, bad. Except maybe, like, one. But, I was pretty happy with your choices of Mercy. As Brig, I would say just focus on more taking positioning where you can enable that brawling. Because, like, you're not looking to, like, feed into the enemy team. But if they're coming into you, like, on defense especially, you have a lot more, you have a lot of power if you're avoiding those spam sight lines, but also being able to prevent them from brawling in from certain angles. Like you want to be helping your team. Like the whole goal is you enable your team to go aggressively on angles and brawl them out. So like make sure that you're either holding an angle that the enemy team wants, like right here, because you're holding this angle that the enemy team wants, or that you're helping your team get an angle that you want by brawling them out. So you'd be going in here with Sigma. Like as Brig, that's her role in this comp, I would say. So like even more so than just peeling for the Zen or whatever, like it's about enabling you to take space more aggressively. Because like you have a little more resources for your tanks, even if you're not putting heal packs into them, you have that extra like bulk and brawling power. Okay, on to J-Ho's VOD. Oh yeah, let me know if you have any questions, Tricia.
Welcome to Oasis. Ready for battle.
Okay, so first, I have one quick question. So I noticed that you sent in a Tracer VOD at first, Tracer McCree or something, and then the Diva VOD. Are you, like, do you mostly play any set of characters or any role at all or whatever? Like, focused on that? It's not like an accusatory thing at all, but like I'm curious on it because like a very important thing to improve is you need to be focused and efficient because otherwise it'll just take a lot longer. So like it's just important to remember that the more heroes and more roles that you play, the longer it'll take to improve on them and focus on them. So like I'm gonna do the review regardless because it's good content and like it's fun, but like just keep that in mind. Yeah, I started off pretty similarly. Like I started off playing largely tank heroes, like especially Zarya and Hog. And then I transitioned into some different tanks, and then I transitioned into DPS with like Doom and Pharah and Mei or something, and then like Sim, and then Tracer I eventually picked up, and like I've gone through a lot of like phases with the heroes too. So, okay, so if you're consistently playing off tanks, that's good to know because like a lot of off tanks have like very similar fundamentals. So, Sigma and Diva especially, if you play those two, like they have a lot of potential. They're harder to play on ladder though, so it's good that you have Zarya tossed in there because like she's easy to get value with on ladder. Diva's one of my favorites though. I'm assuming this is you.
Hello.
Hi,
I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation.
Diva 1.
Yeah, so Diva, so like University is a very brawly map. There aren't many flanks. Like you only have these like two. You have the two angles here, and then just main. So that's why a lot of teams will go brawl. Basically, your role as Diva, you don't really need that much peel because you have like the Mercy Lucio who aren't that vulnerable, and then a Doom, and like Sig is kind of vulnerable, I guess, but your job is basically going to be checking enemy threats and holding off angles. Because like if you're up here, like if you're stacked up on top of your Sigma in main, you're not going to be getting nearly as much value because neither Sigma or is it open queue? I don't think it is. I think it's just different orders for the heroes. I mean, we'll see, I guess, when the last person picks, but maybe it is. I don't know. But like the thing is Sigma and Diva are just gonna be straight up less efficient than like other tanks stacked because it's the double off tanks or whatever. So I basically want you and your Sigma playing separated. So like I want you like up here, maybe here, here, like holding some corner or some angle, and it should be pretty fine and dandy.
Many find the universe confusing.
Also, what rank is this at? It doesn't, it's not for shaming it obviously or anything, it's just for the awareness of what I'm targeting. Because I focus on higher, okay, silver, nice. Yeah, because I focus on like higher, like different difficulty levels of concepts for different like player ranks, so. Well, it depends of course on their issues, but I like this, this is a good choice. You don't need to peek wide here, you can kind of just chill and see if someone comes up. This is fun. This is also fine, yeah. You can keep pressuring monkey. So now it's a 2v1. So you pretty much just want to get out as soon as you can. Booster out, nice. I'll probably watch this one over, this fight over again, to see if there's more you could have done. You need to be quicker on the matrix probably, for if the hog is hooking. Like, it's a hard one to sometimes hit the matrix on, but yeah, meleeing at the end of boosters is always a good thing for the extra damage. So
2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
an important thing as D.Va is always to remember, like, you always should be looking for what the most threatening thing on the enemy team is and trying to check it. So I don't, like right now you don't know what the most threatening thing on the enemy team is. It's gonna be Hog, Widow, and Echo. Echo you can't really check as off tank anymore, honestly. Like, she just melts any off tank. You can kind of check her as D.Va, but you have to be so careful with it that it's often just like not even worth it, except to try and eat her sticky bombs. So basically you're probably going to be trying to matrix against the hog hooks and maybe peel against the monkey a little bit by like booping him away, because your Sig and Ashe would love that extra help. Widow is probably going to be too far away to make it valuable, and she's also just terrible on this map, so I don't think you need to worry about her. Yeah, so I think right here, as soon as you see the Brig, I think you need to be just backing up. Because, like, the problem is, like, you can handle just a monkey, but Brig can, like, just genuinely win duels sometimes still against tanks, like, even with her nerfs. And she's just not, like, a valuable enough of a target. So I would rather you, like, go over here, see what's up, maybe spam some micro missiles into the hog or whatever. Or I think you use them on the ball, I mean the monkey. But, I think I would rather have you, like, backing off and trying to get a more wide view of the fight. Because, like, the problem is, like, right now, it's, like, fine in theory checking the monkey and the D.Va and keeping them occupied, like, as long as you survive, which you kind of did. But then the problem is that it's, like, you're only looking at the small picture right now. Oh, yeah, I've done that too, though. Like, that's, like, something that you have to get, like, muscle memory for. Yeah, like, that's always something that's kind of tricky to remember to do, though. Like, that's not even, like, a shade thing. But yeah, like, just make sure that you're always, like, keeping an idea on the big picture as D.Va and, like, off tank. Because, like, it's kind of like, I'm gonna sound like I'm bragging because I'm an off tank player too, but it's kind of a big brain role. Because, like, unlike his scan DPS or whatever, where it's like take the positioning and hit shots or whatever, like off tank, you can do anything, but you can't do everything at once. So you always need to be like weighing everything on the battlefield and where it's the most valuable to be and where you're going to be getting the highest value. It's like right here, you're getting like wailed on by this Brig and this monkey. I think it'd probably be more valuable for you to be trying to matrix your Mercy and Sig. I think it's probably too late for your Sig. He went in way too deep and basically fed. But also in general, this is gonna sound harsh, but I just wouldn't recommend playing D.Va in silver, just because she has relatively low damage impact, and I feel like it makes it really hard to play in lower ranks. Because like she can like you can keep your teammates alive as much as you want, and she can have pretty burst damage, and I like her especially for like if your team is playing like a divey comp. But like it might be easier to get value from Sigma, Hog, Ball, Zarya. I think those ones are my main picks. Ryan I don't really love that much for lower ranks, even though everyone demands a Ryan, but I feel that. Yeah, Hog was my second golden gun too, and I just like basically stopped playing him after getting it. I don't know, like I finally started playing him again a little bit, but yeah. So I don't think I would have. Make sure that you're watching the kill feed, because like if you were, you would have seen that you would have seen that like your team was basically all dead already, like that the Mercy and Sig died, which basically ends the fight. So I think instead of jet packing out into the point, I would rather you just did like a complete 180 and gone out the door, because then you avoid getting staggered and you don't feed the extra ult charge. Because like they're just getting some bonus ult charge right here, right? And like right here you could have jetted out too, but you're kind of sitting here in this fight. It's already lost. Because like now the enemy team has 50% on Hog ult, 50% on Monkey ult. Like they're entirely outpacing your team except for your Ashe.
I'm too young to die.
The fight is lost, don't go in. You're 2 down. Okay, there's the res. I like this. This is good. You could booster into him as soon as you get it. Beautiful. I like this. Yeah, react quickly to that. That's good. Ooh, that was rough. No, no, no. Point, point, point. You could honestly probably just rush her. Like, you're going for this, like, a long-range poke, and you're playing really passively here. But I think that you genuinely, like, right here... I'll wait for a booster speed up. Right here, your team is... Right now, it's taking a 6v5 because you just killed the Widowmaker. And, well, and it was actually a 6v4 until they got res up. Their Brig is low. You could probably see that if you, like, towed the corner a little more, or if someone would, like I know there's no communications, or and you can see the Brig is half. Instead of doing this ranged micro missiles or whatever and like the small spam, I think you straight up could have dove her, because by the time that she would get the your health low enough to beam you down, you would have closed the distance enough to get enough burst damage to kill her. Like, don't be afraid to get scrappy and brawly with D.Va when the fight is already like in your advantage, and enter like once you're in that brawly phase, brawl, man. Like there's a reason D.Va is used in brawl comps in the pro league. Like, cause like, well, you might think Zarya is just better in the brawl. D.Va has the advantage of being able to like handle high grounds and stuff and like contest angles, but she also can like be a powerhouse in the brawl. So like right here, instead of turning back, you could have just gone in deep, I think. Matrix it, Matrix it, Matrix it. I think you should just straight up rushed the Hog with Matrix. Like, you're not using your Matrix really right now at all. And it's just, like, that's a super valuable resource. It could have kept your ball alive. And you could have just used your bomb to remech if you were, like, actually in trouble. I think that if you really wanted to do the bomb, you kind of need to practice the shots. I would have, like, ideally you would land it like right up here kind of, because then he couldn't hide from it. But I don't think it was really necessary. Like, your team had, like, this point is awkward enough that I think I would rather just use the bomb to remech. Like, there's no shame in using bomb just to get your mech back. This is good. Mechanics are a little dusty on the tracking, but Focus Mercy, Mercy, Mercy. Hog is fine. Or, I mean, Monkey is fine. Unlucky. Mercy, nice. Hahaha. Good remake. Go in aggro, they're not dead yet. Go, 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 go. They can't hurt you. Go, Jet. Okay, well. Yeah, that Brig was beelining for you. This is fine. It's good spam. Gets you a little extra charge. That's good. There wasn't really any reason to Matrix late, but it's good that you had the thought of like Matrixing the res. Because that's like a very important thing. If you're looking for the Sombra, you can always just look around shooting. Like, there's no cost to walking around with shooting as D.Va except that you walk slower. So, you might as well just shoot to try and scout her. Go high ground, go high ground. You know things are happening up there. Little slow, but this is a good spirit. Mechanics are a little dusty still, but that's fine. You should pursue the kill on the monkey here. Like, you saw that he was low. You saw that he drops down here. You 100% could have chased their monkey. Like, there was no reason to leave that up to the team. Yeah, it looks like it's console. I would assume that's console, especially because you have people's names that are long and with numbers. Go, go, go. Kill her, kill her, kill her. Okay, so that explained the kind of dusty mechanics. So don't worry about that then. But, pursue it, pursue it. I know a dude who does some pretty good console D.Va just gameplay as a whole. And you might be able to get some ideas on what console D.Va play could look like. I can link you those if they're interested. Like, if he's like a diamond console D.Va or something, and like, it's just gameplay, but it's good stuff. He's a nice guy. I like that bomb. Nice, and yeah, you got the kill. This is good, just back out. I think you could have maybe gotten the health pack first, but I wouldn't sweat it. I would just jet up again. Yeah. Good Matrix. Yeah, go get back to point. Yeah, you don't have to stand still and watch what happens with the bomb, that's true. It's not something that I critiqued because it doesn't, like, that's like a minor thing at the elo, but at higher ranks you will get like headshotted or whatever if you stand still. Like, even probably on console. That's a good reaction to try and matrix it. I think you mismanaged your matrix a little. Yeah, like you're matrixing like random hog shots that don't really matter. And matrixing like the monkey there used up a bit of it. So like you don't have quite as much as you would need for that. But at the same time, I think you handled it fine. Don't no, it's fine actually. Echo, yeah, yep. Nice. Monkey. Pursue it. You could pursue it. You have enough health. This is fine too though. Pursue it. Jet the melee. Yeah, if you need that last bit of burst, always just do the booster melee. Because like unless you know that you're gonna need the escape, you can usually just get it off. Nice remake. Just toss one up in the middle of point. Unlucky, Bear team is still going fine. Sombra, yeah, nice. You have good target focus. Yeah, the bomb was a little too high. This point is really tough for D.Va bomb though, because it has like the 2 side zones. And those side zones are really accessible and really easy to dodge D.Va bomb with. Overall pretty good. So far my only thing would be I feel like you're a little too passive on like pursuing cleanup kills. Because like Diva's impact, like, well, yeah, I was saying, like, she doesn't have that much DPS impact, but if you want to get the DPS impact that she does have, and she does, like, she can put out a fair amount of damage, is you have to be, like, trying to confirm these kills and chase them down, but then just make sure you have a way out. I like taking the angle here. Nice. Yeah, just back out. Good choice. Grab the mega booster to it. You're lucky that that tracer wasn't any faster. Good timing on the matrix though. Nice tracking. That was pretty good. Good focus, good focus. I don't think you needed that health enough to make it worth taking yourself out of the fight for the 3 seconds or whatever. Go on. No, you could have killed the Moira. She was low. Nice melee. Nah, yeah, this is good. Grab the mini. Grab the mega. Booster to it and get it back in. No. Get back in, man. Get back in. Yeah, I don't know if you could see the Moira herself. That's why I'm not, like, being, like, wailing on it too much. Good cap. Probably, yeah, but try not to message people in the middle of fights. You could, like, you could go pursue that. You could pressure him close up. I would not recommend tabbing out in tourneys. Do not follow Tricio's example. I like that bomb. Nice! Yeah, that was really well placed. Yeah, that was beautiful. You used it right when they were engaging, which is perfect, and then you placed it behind them. Because the whole thing is the bomb acts kind of like a bob, except all the... You could jet at him. Go for it. You can get it. Yeah, you're not being aggressive on pursuing these kills, and I think you could get away with it. But yeah, the thing with bomb is you want to use it when the enemy team is engaging. Predict where the cover is going to be that they might go to, so usually it's going to be behind them. And then you toss... yeah, so like you're thinking of it, but you could have done it earlier. Like, don't think, just do it. Because you have enough margin generally that you can get away with it as long as you don't hesitate. Like in a lot of situations, especially in lower ranks. Yeah, see, like this is pursuing the kill. I like to see this. It's unlucky that you didn't quite land it, but... Good rush. Yeah, focus echo. Beautiful. Monkey. Nice. It's fine. It was between fights. I feel like you're using your micro missiles a little liberally for the spam. You can use it for a spam, but like I was saying with Tricio's VOD, don't use resources when there's a fight that is like starting imminently. Because now if they engage in the next 8 seconds, you don't have the micro missiles as like a close range burst damage. So I would recommend making sure that you keep the micro missiles for burst damage when you know a fight is going to happen. Nice. Good choice. Now what's the next most threatening thing? Hog probably, yeah. Like the junk is there, but he's... Nah, that was a pretty bad bomb. I would have probably just used it for a remake or toss it here. Because like this is like okay. But really, I think I would recommend using bomb for the remake if you don't actually have like a good decisive bomb spot. just because then you can be really aggro, use the bomb, and probably get out fine. So, matrix that. Nice. Good choice recontesting that. Zarya. Back out, just back off. Nice. Okay. You have the trance. I would focus the Zarya still here. Like, you're focusing the Echo Diva, but you're probably not going to get the kill on Echo Diva. But if you were by this half health Zarya and still on her, you would probably be able to get a lot more value. Yeah, just back out from that. Don't even bother with trying to kill Baby Diva in Echo form. She gets her mech back instantly. It's disgusting. Jet at her. Nice. Beautiful. See, like, you have enough health, like, even with a low health, you can generally get away with it, especially on console. This is fine. He's low. Oh, that was lucky. You should have probably rocketed over him. So yeah, just go in. Nah, no, man. You could have just run at them and then used your mech. Like, use it for the remech. Okay. So honestly, I would say, first of all, it's definitely a good base, and I think it's probably better than, frankly, most silver gameplay on PC. Probably better than most gold diva gameplay on PC. But like, at least in terms of like basic instincts, I think the biggest things I would encourage are, don't be afraid to like try and go aggressive to pursue kills. Like, you can wait if you have enough of that HP resource, but there's no way that you'll be able to test your limits without like doing it. Like, yeah, you might feed a little, but like, that's okay if you're learning from it and improving from it. Like, you need to kind of like push those limits and see how much the enemy team is going to give you in terms of leeway, because if you can take advantage and like get those small kills and those cleanup kills, that's like, it's a lot more damage output, especially because if you're going for the closing distance, like if you close the distance on them, having that close range damage is so much more. Yeah, most people on ladder will try and block people out of diva too. Yeah, that's how a lot of people feel, is they're like, oh my gosh, the value is with the big bombs. That's a lie. But her bombs are not going to get big bombs most of the time. On the pro scene, on ladder, anywhere. Her bomb is mostly for like remech and denying spaces. So, like, you can use it over a control point, like to make them forced off it for a brief moment. But if you're getting big bombs, usually it's because the enemy team is just really poorly positioned, or you just have like a massive brain. In terms of the diva bombs, I would say actually consider using it for remech more, because like I feel like you didn't have that like as something that you were considering, and it's like a really powerful option with bomb. And I know while your friends might be pressuring you to play it for like the big bombs or whatever, um, frankly, the remech is probably more valuable if you're just popping off and getting kills. If you do want to get big bombs, I would recommend like watching some streamers, maybe like Poco or Yumong, who play diva kind of regularly. They don't get like huge bombs all the time, but it might give you some ideas. In general, though, what you want to do is something that helps a lot is you slide it off a surface by like launching it in an unpredictable way, or you go for you go for that pinch kind of thing. Like, it's something that's like, it's a lot of just trial and error, honestly. Like, there's no shortcut to being good at the diva bombs. Like, it's something that it's probably my biggest struggle on diva, personally. So, let me know if you have any other questions real quick. I'll get to them. So, like, because something to remember, of course, is you can slide the bomb. So you can do this and have it bounce off the surface and then drop there or whatever, and like you can do like really unpredictable bombs like that have a lot of power. It's a useful tech thing. There's a couple other ones. So you can do this for like a slow moving floor bomb, and like the closer you go to so like you can do that to kind of slide it past Reinhardt shields and stuff as like an option. Um, there's also let me see if there's grooves in the floor on this map. Okay, these might work. I'll show you something real quick and see if it works on practice range. Yeah, these might work. Yeah, see, so it slides along the curb. So like if you have like low ground objects, you can kind of bump it around off of that. The ones on the ground are pretty niche, but it's just nice to know like the mechanics of how it moves. But the big one is like the wall slides, because the wall slide is like a really big useful thing, because like I can do this, and I can hit ball dudes who I just have zero line of sight on. So like that's like the one that you'll see like Poco do a lot, for example, who's like really good at diva bombs, and some dudes like Fury. Like it's a really easy way to get a lot of diva bomb value. And of course you also have to remember that the earlier you shoot it, the higher up it'll explode. Like if I do this, it explodes pretty high up, as opposed to if I do if I do this and wait out most of my boosters. I guess that one ended up dropping at about the same spot. But generally, like you can get different heights, of course, by doing like the different booster times. So like what you can do is, I would recommend like just finding like even like a custom game or whatever, and just kind of going through and looking for spots that you can bounce bombs off. Yeah, it's a really funny ability, honestly, because you can hook it. You can actually stun it with McCree. Maybe they changed that, but yeah, you can hide behind like a lamp post and live and stuff. It's a goofball. You can also do the thing with ceilings. I don't know if I have any good ceilings in this map, but so you have to watch out, of course, for ledges like this, because if I do this, it will get caught, but then you can drop it. So you get some like really weird interactions like that. And the one other thing, of course, is there's a tech where you can. This is one I wouldn't recommend generally, just because it's really inconsistent. But you can nudge a bomb off the edge to hit people below it. Sometimes you can actually get to drop off the edge, but it's like hard to get it fast enough. Like there's just a myriad of different options that you can kind of throw down for diva bombs. Yeah, Eichenwald is one that people do it. Like they do it on like the Eichenwald bridge or something, and push it down. I think that's where the original replay of that was. But yeah, like I would say just experiment with it, man. Like there's no like, don't be afraid to try out these different bombs and stuff. Like they're gonna fail a lot of the time, but it's kind of just the fun of playing diva and learning how to use her more. Because like I can do like goofy stuff like this, launch it all the way over there, hit someone. So alright, I'm probably gonna end stream, because despite my legs being tired, I have to do some house cleaning and stuff, so I'll probably stream again next Saturday. I might stream during the week or something, but heading out. Thanks for attending, Yuto, and whoever else did.